Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You've been hearing me all day. I'm Soulcloset2, and I'll be running Barbie Horse Adventures Writing Camp. So I really hope you guys enjoy this run. I'm just doing some last-minute audio setup. It looks like the game's a little quiet. All right. So let me get this ready, and we'll be starting quite soon. Before I start, a couple of things I'm going to say. This run is on PC, so you will be hearing my keyboard clacking. I am sorry. I hope it sounds nice. I paid $300 for it. One more thing is this is the second to last run of the marathon, so if you guys want to catch our ending festivities, including some audience interaction, I recommend watching through this run, through Maury's amazing run of Barbie Magic Genie Bottle and CD-ROM coming up after this, and then through to the end, where me and Zuko will do a fun little closer show for you guys. Without further ado, I will get ready on time here. And this game starts at this screen, and we will be getting to it in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, Barbie Horse Adventures Writing Camp is one of the last, if not the last, Barbie Horse Adventures games to release. It was released in 2008.
Wow.
And came out on the Wii, PlayStation 2, and PC. It's got some janky controls, so if you see what looks like me just standing in place a lot of the time, trust me, I'm trying my best. This game has a lot of pretty complicated mechanics at play. So you've got separate controls for Barbie versus Barbie on her horse. There are several different horses in this game, and each of them require grooming. We'll go over that in the tutorial in just a second. Yes, Danny, this game is available for the Wii, and it uses motion controls, which is super fun. Luckily, this version does not have that. Not that I'm anti-motion controls. I'm kind of pro-motion controls, but you know, it's a PC game, and I'm fine running the PC version. It's faster. So, we'll be getting our first horse here. Don't remember which breed it is. The Palomino, I guess. Each horse has different stats, which you'll be able to very briefly see as they blink by on the horse menu. But for the purposes of this run, just know that I'll be upgrading at the right times and not upgrading if the new horse is worse than my old one. Right now we're going to talk to Kyle, who's one of our main characters here, about how to take care of our horse. But first, I forgot, we have to go to Miss Roberts. So, sorry about that. So, Miss Roberts is ambiguously a family member of Barbie's who owns this little ranch, owns these stables. And your goal is basically to go around the open world that this game presents to you and complete quests to get 5 ribbons. And when you get the 5th ribbon, the game is done. You've completed all the quests that this game world has to offer to you, and they consider you basically the best horse rider in the world. So that is our goal today. Interesting little tidbit is that the world in this game is called Equestria. So for my current or former My Little Pony people, that's just a funny little thing, I guess. Caught me off guard the first time I played this. Right here we'll be introduced to the 4 kinds of the horse's grooming needs. So there is brushing, food, water, and picking its hooves, or cleaning its hooves. We will only be, after this tutorial, doing food and water. Oops, didn't mean to get off the horse there. For the rest of the run, because they don't require getting off of the horse. You know, when the horse needs to eat or drink, you can just bring the horse to the food or water, and it will eat or drink, whereas for the other ones, you need to get off the horse and stand next to it to clean it, or whatever the task is. So what these grooming kind of requirements are, in this game they are actual requirements. If you watched my Wild Horse Rescue run earlier, you might have heard me talking about how the horse being dirty doesn't affect the run except for an RNG voice line. In this game, it is absolutely imperative that you maintain a strict route on where you go and in how many steps. to make sure that you groom the horse correctly, because if you need more than 2 of the horse's grooming needs, like if you neglect 3 or 4 of them, out of the 4 total, then you actually will move at a slower than normal speed, which obviously isn't what we want in a speedrun. So, right here we'll be doing our first race, and this will actually already get us the first of our 5 ribbons. But other than that, it's a pretty easy race. There's no obstacles here or anything. This race just kind of introduces you to riding the horse on different terrain. There's also one of these checkpoints which is in the air, and even though you can grab it without jumping, it's supposed to be like a tutorial on how to jump. This game does have a manual jump button with spacebar, which means that there are some shenanigans which can occur, but for the most part, the manual jump in this game serves to do us a lot more harm than good. You'll see later, especially on Ribbon 3. But for now, we're just going to chill out. The start of the run is pretty simple, pretty calculated. You'll see I'll grab that even though I didn't jump for it. You can just barely graze it with your head. First thing we're really going to be doing after we get this ribbon is going to the coast, which is a location we'll be visiting twice. This game is an open world RPG with a quest system, which is really cool for a Barbie game. You wouldn't expect that. So we just got the first ribbon. Technically, it doesn't count as us getting it until we talk to Miss Roberts right here, but we're going to do that. We're going to skip her dialogue and then accept her quest called Ready for the Racetrack. And then we're going to go over here, thread the needle, between Kyle and the food, grab some water, and we're going to be heading to the coast. So you'll see I didn't actually need water there. In the top left of the screen, there will be a circular chip, which kind of displays if you need a certain grooming need. If that doesn't appear and you see me getting a given grooming task done first, it just means I'm being preemptive because I know the route. So, our route document for this game, that was made by myself and Maury's Illusion, who's the other runner of this game. We routed this game. Another runner who, I can't remember, I think their username is Dragosika. I've never talked to them, but they did run this game. And so we kind of had our route. They improved the route slightly. We re-documented it and wrote it out in a very detailed way with a color-coded map on Google Docs. So you can check that out in the, I believe, guides section of our speedrun.com page. But anyway, as we approach the coast over this hill here, we're going to be talking to a number of people who are going to be able to give us quests. So there'll be a little boy who wants us to find his toy boat. There'll be Teresa, who wants us to paint some houses. And there'll be an old man, a sailor, who wants us to do something else. He wants us to grab a bunch of life buoys, life rings, something like that. They're floaty rings. He wants us to grab floaty rings. So we're going to talk to Teresa here. I don't actually remember what quest she gives us there, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to go from Teresa down here to the sailor, and then we're going to go on a little fetch quest. So, as we head around the coast here, you can see on my mini-map up there that there are all these little orange dots. Those aren't orange because the rings are orange, it just happens to work out that way. But you'll see, these are now seashells. So we got 2 rings and a seashell here. I think I actually missed a ring. So I'm going to have to go back for that, which is kind of unfortunate. I didn't realize I had missed that. But that's okay. We'll be able to circle back around for it. It won't be optimal, but that's fine. We're just here to have fun. So you'll see I just completed the Seashells by the Seashore task, and you'll see that the star in the corner of my map turned green. Stars are placed at the location of the quest giver or who you need to give the quest to, and are yellow if a quest is outstanding from that person, or green if a quest is completed. So, what we're going to do here... no, I did not mess up the run. I actually did this correctly. So we're going to go back up here to the little boy, and we're going to give him his boat, which is going to complete a quest. You'll see that he has a green star, so when I talk to him, that counts as a quest completion, and the game autosaves. We need to complete 5 quests between each ribbon, because the ribbon's final challenge that actually allows us to do the final race and get the ribbon will not be obtainable from the quest giver unless you've completed 5 challenges. So That's why we need to go and do all this stuff at the coast, even though, as you'll see shortly, the second ribbon is actually given to us at a separate racetrack. So we've completed Ahoy Life Buoy, kind of a weird name based on how you pronounce those words, for the sailor, and then taken his second quest, which involves grabbing this screwdriver, and then we're going to come back around here and grab a couple more things for him. One of them is up by the little boy, and another one is down by where we got the ring near the bungalow. So we're just going to kind of traverse this area in a few more ways to get the last few items for him, turn in his quest, and then we'll be heading up to Ribbon 2, which is pretty close by. Yeah, so we grab the gas can now. You'll see on the left there that we have those marks indicating we need to brush and clean the hooves of the horse. We're not going to do that. We're just going to give it water and food to make sure it stays fed. And that's it. So we've now turned in the second quest to the sailor. And we're going to be heading up here. And then over to the right. And we'll see the Ribbon 2 track come into view very shortly. So it's just this right over here. I will let you guys know in advance that once we get past Ribbon 2, I am a little shaky on this game, just because it is not my main speed game. So I'm hoping we don't make any major mistakes, but we might. Hopefully not. So we'll be jumping over this barrier here. That's one advantage of having a jump button, is we can kind of go wherever we want. And we'll talk to this guy. This guy is going to be our key to getting Ribbon 2. He's going to have us clean up the track for him, so that we can do a practice race on the track. And then we're going to do a complete final race on the track once he cleans it up even more. See, that is a very risky strategy. You'll see that the prompt did not appear for me to press enter to grab this log, even though I was, like, right on top of it. And that's just because this game is badly made. So, we'll now be taking some flags that he gave us and putting 2 at each of the checkpoints of the race. And you'll see that when we do the actual practice race, we'll be using those checkpoints that we placed. Or at least similar. You know, the game doesn't want to make us do all the work, but it's pretty close to what actually shows. So, that's a lot of this game, is just taking things and placing them somewhere else. You'd think it's boring, and sometimes it is, but it creates a very interesting challenge of what order to do a task with so many steps, but no order. Or no required order. Which is one of the reasons I think this is a really cool speed game. So, the time to beat here is 10 minutes. I'm really not sure whether we'll get it or not, but we'll see, you know. One of the longest races in the game, you know. So we're going to do 2 laps on this track. If you couldn't tell, I was being facetious. This is a very, very short practice race here. And as soon as we cross through the checkpoint near the man over here, we're going to stop so that as soon as the text box pulls up, we can turn to the left as soon as we gain control, which takes a couple seconds. And we can immediately head into the final race for Ribbon 2. Completing this race and then talking to the man will grant Ribbon 2 to our inventory and allow us to teleport back to the stables and continue on to Ribbon 3, which is where the game starts getting interesting. Ribbon 2 is probably the last part of the game that's kind of tutorializing you. Ribbon 3 does teach you how to properly jump over high obstacles, but it's more of an exercise in you're gonna die a lot unless you know how to do this, rather than like a proper tutorialization. Luckily, I know what I'm doing, so if I fail it, it should only be one time, but I'm pretty sure I can get it. And this is gonna finish up Ribbon 2 here. We turn and slow down there so that we're closer to the man. We're gonna do that. We're not gonna talk to him again. We're gonna call Kyle to pick us up and take us back to the stables. So, remember those, you see those shells in the bottle we got earlier? We're not gonna turn in the shells yet, but we are gonna give the bottle to Miss Roberts here. And she has another quest, but we're just gonna ignore that for now. We're gonna leave it for later. And the main reason we would want to do that... Oh, Barbie, can you please get off the horse? Thank you. The main reason we were going to want to do that is that some quests in this game are very long and out of the way. So if we only need 5 quests worth of progress for each segment, it makes sense, routing-wise, to do some quests ahead of time when we're, let's say, at the coast, and not do more quests later that would take longer. Why can't I mount the horse? There we go. That was really strange. It was giving me some trouble. So anyway, we're going to talk to Kyle and take this quest, but we're not actually going to do it. We've got a new horse, so we don't have to worry about grooming for a little while. And, again, accepting that quest from Kyle here just saves us some time later. During Ribbon 4's kind of collection cycle, we are going to have to do Kyle's Runaway Horses quest. But we just accept it from him on our way out of the stables here because it's the most convenient way to get it. Up here is going to be the jump practice track, which we are going to have to build, kind of like we did with the Ribbon 2 track. But it's the jump practice track, which means it's awful. This is probably the worst segment of the game, and I don't necessarily mean that it's, like, badly made or whatever, although, you know, arguably it is. It's more so just that, it's very difficult. It's very precise. And it is, this game is, not necessarily for the uninitiated speedrunner. Most runners of a game who have the world record can say, I make this game look easy, but it's hard. For me, it's I make this game look hard, but it's even harder. Which I guess is a good segue into mentioning that I do have the world record in this game currently. I believe it's a 42-minute, 38-second time, something like that, 42 minutes something. Our estimate today is 50 minutes because you really can't trust yourself to do well in this game. It is a toss-up. But I'm hoping we can get, you know, like 46 minutes or less. So we've placed the posts, and these posts we're going to become very familiar with throughout the course of this section. We're going to place these pink and then some blue slats in them, and those are going to be what sets the height of our jumps.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
So we're going to be grabbing this last one here, and then running pretty much full speed through these last two. And when we go back to the woman, she'll be able to give us... oh, whoops. I didn't mean to hit that. She'll be able to give us the practice race for this segment, where we'll only have to jump over one slat. You see, there's just the pink ones I put in there. So these jumps are pretty trivial. If you just don't run into them, you won't crash. In the top right there, you'll see that I have that red triangle. That counts the number of errors you make during a jump race. And if you get 3 errors, you fail, and you have to restart the race. So that's our goal through the 3 races we're going to do, 2 practice and 1 final, is to not get more than 3 errors. In the final race, it's almost guaranteed that I'm going to get 1 error, maybe 2, but I usually can do it first try. So now that we've accepted this, we're just going to go through here relatively slowly and grab all of these. And you might be questioning, you know, again, like why I'm going so slowly near these. Even if you see the press enter prompt on the screen, it doesn't necessarily mean that I can actually press enter and have it pick up or place the item at that time. There is a cooldown that is invisible and inconsistent. And you pretty much just have to route out every minute little movement in this game to make sure that you can do each part of it without running into that cooldown. Because if you do run into that cooldown, you'll just go straight through things. Ah, see, I got an error there. I jumped too early. So, even with only 2 slats, it is pretty unforgiving. And later we'll be doing 3. So, if I fail the jump, the final jump race, that's why, is that it's going to be 3 slats. It's a very tight window. So now that we've finished that, we're going to go up here to the yellow building you might be able to see off in the distance, which is it's called the Manor, I believe. I call it the jump house, or the jump race house. But we're going to go up to the Manor here. It's also a barn. Who cares? It's several things.
The old riding house.
Riding house, that's what she calls it. We're going to turn left and give the horse some water, then turn right and talk to the lady who runs this place. She already has a track, set up for us, but she needs us to find her cat first. Her cat is stuck in a tree, and we just can't have that, so we're going to have to help her find her cat. Every single track will have at least one quest that you have to do before you can race on the final track. In this case, it is just the cat. But of course, we needed to do all the other quests that we already did to unlock the final race. So just because the quests aren't physically at the location of the race doesn't mean that we don't need to do them to do that race. It's all very carefully planned by me and Maury and the other runner. You'll notice the phone ringing. Those phone calls, I believe, are the characters at home and Teresa kind of giving us progress updates on our progress through the game. They're quite late as they don't expect us to be going this fast. But we're not going to listen to those phone calls. Every cutscene in this game is just dialogue, and it's skippable by pressing the spacebar and enter and just mashing them. And we will do that with the phone calls. The only difference is the phone is also used to teleport back to the stables, so we will have to answer the call at some point. We just don't have to actually listen to it. Alright, I'm going to focus for a sec. This is the hardest part of the game. Alright, one error is incredibly good there, and it was a pretty fast one. Sometimes you can get stuck on the falling slats because they are physics objects, so that was really good. We're not going to take the other quest from her because that would actually just repeat the same thing we already did. And starting out here, we're wasting no time. We're not going to switch horses because even though we already... even though we already unlocked another horse, it actually is a horse that's good at jumping, but not as fast at movement. And since we already did the jump race, there is absolutely no reason to do it. So we're not going to. We're going to give the horse water here. And then we're going to head out towards the coast, but not to the coast. Not quite yet. We're going to be doing a quest for a lady who really likes carrots. And during this section... Barbie is going to say the same voice line either 4 or 5 times. She's going to say, "That's one bunch of carrots." So every time that Barbie says, "That's one bunch of carrots," I want to see all of you in the chat saying, "That's one bunch of carrots," with whatever emoji you feel suits best. So get ready, get hype. We're going to do the incredibly easy carrots quest, and we're going to all metaphorically sing in unison. All right, here comes.
That's one bunch of carrots. That's one bunch of carrots. That's one bunch of carrots. That's one bunch of carrots.
All right, there it was.
Hello, perfect. They look good. Let me walk carrots or...
Hey, have you gotten any new packing? What a beautiful new morning.
Cool. So, we're coming back to the stables here. Thank you all for indulging me in that. And we're going to go straight out here. We're not going to turn that in quite yet. And we're going to go find these horses. So, Kyle gave us 3 GPS trackers, which you can see in the bottom left corner. And I don't know why we have to GPS track these horses. But we do, so we will.
Hold still now.
We're going to come up here, across this water. Grab a meaningless collectible. Track the second horse, and then we're going to go up the hill and divert very quickly to talk to a young girl. On the way, we're going to get someone with my favorite voice line in any Barbie game.
Hey, hi, how you doing?
That is my favorite voice line in any Barbie game. Hey, hi, how you doing? I just love the absolutely lifeless delivery. One of my favorite things about this game. Alright, so we come down here to the last horse, and then we're going to go straight back to the stables again.
Barbie, I'm excited about your progress.
Skip another phone call. Great. So we did that. Now we're going to talk to Kyle.
Hi, Barbie.
And turn in runaway horses. Then we're going to talk to... Oh, whoops.
Let's have a closer look.
talk to Miss Roberts. Hello. Okay. To get credit for... Sorry. Cabin girl. I'm reading my route here just to make sure I don't mess up. Did I do the shells? No, I didn't. So we're not doing that yet. Great. We're gonna go give the horse food.
Hi, Barbie.
And then we're gonna progress to the next area. Now, to make sure that I don't mess up, I am gonna slightly divert here and just make sure. Okay. Yes, so we're good. The Ribbon 4 practice race counts as a quest, so having one quest left here is perfect. We gave the horse water. I needed to give the horse... No, I gave the horse food, not water, right? Oh, I sure hope so. Otherwise, this is about to be very slow. But yeah, so we are going to be heading out here to the Ribbon 4 track. Pretty fun stuff, heading up the hill here. Ah, no, you know what? I was mistaken. We are actually not heading up the hill. We are heading this way. Right? Am I... Oh, no, you know what? I am wrong. But that's okay. We can save it. This game is very complicated, so don't at me about using my route during a run. It's very, very, twisty-turny, and the minimap is pretty bad. But we went the right way. We're here. This is part of the Ribbon 4 track. So as we approach, we're going to give the horse some water. And I'm going to give it food, too, just because I'm not 100% sure that I did the right one before. Just for safety. Because trust me, you guys don't want to see what happens when we mess up. For the record, guys, we are on pretty good pace here. I'm not using my normal splits, I'm just using the timer you see on screen, so I don't know anything about, like, individual segment pace, but, this is a good run, so I'm glad that it's, going well. Alright, we gave the horse food and water, and this starts the Ribbon 4 practice race. So, like I said, there are 5 ribbons in this game. Ribbon 4 and Ribbon 5 are both larger outdoor courses. Ribbon 1 was also pretty big and, you know, not on a pre-made track. But the difference is Ribbons 4 and 5 incorporate more of what we've learned from Ribbons 1, 2, and 3. This one actually is pretty straightforward. It's kind of just like, make sure you know where you're going, which we do. But Ribbon 5 incorporates pretty much everything we've done so far. It's an outdoor track with lots of verticality, just like this one, and it has jumpable obstacles to go over, just like Ribbon 3. So that's going to be kind of the challenging one. For now, this is a pretty casual race. With some very dramatic music, I might add. So, last couple turns here, and then we'll be closing in on the end of the practice race, and then we still have to do the final race for Ribbon 4. Which is pretty similar. Not too big of a difference between the two. However, we're going to stop here and turn around, because we need to give the horse water before the next race. And I know that we just did that before the last race, but you run out of water pretty quickly. And I think it feels like it runs out faster during the races than it does during normal gameplay, or normal, like, you know, map movement. And if we don't do it both times there, we would run out of water partway through. And since excuse me, since we don't groom our horse the other 2 ways, we need our food and water gauges to be full the entire run. Failing to do so would just slow us down a ton. You go at about 50% speed on your horse when you don't have at least 2 grooming characteristics satisfied, I guess is a way to say that. And so we want to maintain that the whole time. So far, no issues. We're just kind of running through it. No problems here, which is good. During my practice for this game recently, I definitely did make some mistakes. I haven't actually completed a run in a few weeks, so things are going smoothly. That's a bit of a tricky jump over that stump there, but it saves a little bit of time. Not that I've ever done it before, but I can tell that it saves time, so I'm just gonna say it saves time. This game isn't exactly the most optimized. It's relatively optimized, but it could be improved. So if this looks interesting to you, and you guys want to play a multi-platform Barbie RPG, I fully encourage you to do so. I think this game has a ton of potential that hasn't yet been realized just because it's long and kind of complicated. And more competition will always spur better runs, so feel free to get involved. Like I've been saying all day, you can join the Barbie Community Discord at the link on screen or by doing !Discord in the chat, so feel free. Alright, we're gonna jump through the thing here to get closer to the girl.
Hey,
Perfect.
Hi, how you doing?
Because we have to talk to her for the ribbon to count.
Excellent.
And then we're gonna go back home
What a
and
ride.
begin the end of the game here. So, ribbon 4 unlocks another horse. Every ribbon unlocks a new horse. And the 4th horse is not quite as good as the last horse, but we won't be using the last horse since getting ribbon 5 is what completes the game. And so it is by far the best horse we have access to. Its stats are almost perfect, and for what we need it for, it is much better than pretty much any of the others. It's a lot faster. The only downside is this horse doesn't have a very good jumping stat, so it can make the last race a little bit tricky, but we know how to manage that. You know, I've played this game, you know, just a few times. So it'll be fine. Right now, you might recognize the direction we're going. We're not going back to Carrot Lady. She has no more quests for us, but the coast people do. So we already completed both quests for the sailor, but we did not complete any quests for Teresa. And so we're going to be going and hanging out with Teresa to paint some houses. And so what this is going to entail is we're going to enter the coast the same way we always do, coming up over this hill by the little boy. But we're not going to talk to him. We're going to go straight past him and jump down a hill. And as long as we don't die, which is possible, we are going to be grabbing a can of paint and then heading straight over for Teresa so that we can... where's the can of paint? It's over here. Oh, why can't I grab it? Oh, I needed to talk to Teresa again, I believe.
Hey, Barbie, I got...
Whoops. That's my bad.
Here's a good color for the cabins.
So, we're gonna come back up here, get off the horse, and paint these cabins. Cool thing about painting these cabins is, the animation always plays on the far side of the cabins because of this tree that's next to this one. And so as long as we press it from the front, we can actually teleport slightly closer to the next cabin just based on where the animation starts. You can just kind of go up to one side and end up on the other side. Now, that does put us farther away on the last one. So, I mean, it's not really a time save, but it saves us some running in between, which I guess is nice. So we're going to run back over, talk to Teresa after getting back on our horse. And then we're going to head straight through an intended path that the game has laid out for us this way to the last location we'll be visiting in this run, which is the Ribbon 5 practice and track area. And this area can be reached just by kind of going up through the trees here. There is a winding path, but if we just kind of go to the right of these trees, we can jump straight down to... Oh, no, I'm sorry. To the right of these trees in front of us. I almost didn't go the right way there. Yeah, just over here. We're going to want to avoid that and jump down right here.
Hello there.
And we're good. We're going to talk to both of these people right here. Oh no, the timer stopped. How did the timer stop? Oh, that's a shame. Let me restart it. Thank you for pointing that out. Oh no, I split accidentally, so I can't restart it. Well, that's a shame. Let me pull up my little rip timer. There we go. Whoops. That's my bad. We'll keep going.
This is the steeplechase course, the most difficult
Sorry about
of
that,
all
guys.
riding trials.
Anyway, we grabbed those two quests, and what these two quests are they're both on the first part of the Ribbon 5 track. One of them wants us to grab some sunflowers that we're later going to use to decorate the starting area, and one of them wants us to grab some baby bird eggs so that we can put them safely in nests so that they are not trampled during the race. So we kind of do both of these quests at once,
Here's one of the nests.
which involves turning around kind of awkwardly there. And then we're just going to go straight back the way we came, but on the right side, and place the remaining eggs in the nests. Then we're going to go back and finish up with the... oh, whoops. Almost forgot to do that one.
I hope the birds use it again.
Awesome. So you always kind of get stopped there, but that's okay. And then we're going to head back over here and talk to, I believe, this lady. Good. So she wants us to place the sunflowers around the track.
I could be a florist. That looks good.
I really like the way Barbie says florist. I think it's extremely cute.
That looks good. I could be a florist. That looks
So
good.
we're just going to kind of snake through here
I could be a
and
florist.
finish that track, or finish that quest. And then we're going to take the next quest from her, which involves getting these berries. Now, I actually realized that I had routed in here an extra place to get water, but we don't need to do it, I've noticed, so I'm not going to. We're going to save ourselves some time by not giving the horse water. We were supposed to do it before, but I didn't, and it actually doesn't matter, so that's nice. I'll update the guide later. We're going to do this by getting that one, then coming up the back the same way we came in, which puts us right on the track here to grab these berries. Now, you'd think that these berries would require us to go back to the people we were just talking to, but we're actually going to go back to the stables here. Because we need to give Miss Roberts the berries. It's like a gift from the people who run that racetrack. So we're going to give her the seashells, which we collected all the way during Ribbon 2, and then give her the berries. We're going to give the horse water, and then we're going to go straight back to where we just came from to finish the game. I wish I hadn't accidentally stopped the timer, because I would actually love to know what time we're going to get here. But I'll check afterward and let you guys know tomorrow whether we got a really good run or not. So, we're going to be heading out this way. And you'll see the green star on our map there. That's where we're going. It's green because we actually accepted part of it. Or no, we didn't accept anything. Earlier, we completed the baby bird quest for the second lady. And so we still need to turn that in. The reason we haven't turned that in just yet is because turning it in will start the Ribbon 5 practice race, which we only want to do at the end, so we can just do practice, then the final, and then the game is complete. So, It's all very well put together, very routed out. You know how it is with speedruns, I guess. Hit a tree. This area is a little bit shaky because we do just have to kind of go through the middle of everything. I did have a setup for it, but I've forgotten the setup, so we're just kind of eyeballing it, which means it can be easy to run into things. But we are basically just going to cut right through here. And then right here is the set of trees that we jumped through before. So we're going to jump right on down past both of the people here. And get ourselves some water for our horse. Oh, so that is actually something I'm surprised we didn't see already. If you fall too far in this game without hitting the ground, you actually get respawned. So that's why we can't do some crazy glitches that this game does have, but get capped off because of the distance, the falling distance cap. Ah, yes, no, we don't have to do this one. I believe we are just ready to go. Did I forget something?
Hey, good seeing you.
I don't think that I forgot anything. Well, we're gonna do the Ribbon 5 practice race, and if I did forget something, we'll just fix it. We'll just do another thing to fix it. But it doesn't tell me that I messed anything up, so I don't think I did. Strange. Worst case scenario, we'll have to go back to the stables and then come back here again, but that doesn't take too long. It's about a minute. So it's long in the context of a world record, but it's not long in the context of Barbiethon. So you'll see I have to go really close to these obstacles to jump over them, because this horse has a lower jumping stat than the second horse did, for example, which we used for the third race, where we had to do the jumping challenges. So you might see me hit stuff. Luckily, this game doesn't have a health system, like Wild Horse Rescue does. So we can just kind of hit things, and as long as we jump over them, we should be fine, even if we hit them. Those boxes like that, in particular, are quite tricky. Oh no! So, you actually can't get the goals backwards, or the race will fail. So we have to come back around it very carefully, and then go back over. That was close. If you fail the race, it just drops you where you are and doesn't respawn you at the start, so we would have had to ride all the way back and then start again, which would have been quite bad, but didn't happen. I'm still a little bit nervous about our ribbon progress. Oh no. See, this is another thing that can happen. One unfortunate thing that can happen with these is you get automatically turned around when you hit the barrier, and then while you're turned around, it counts as getting it backwards, and then you fail. It really hurts when that happens, but luckily that doesn't seem to have happened here, so we're going to turn in this quest. I have a sneaking suspicion. Okay, no, we're good.
Hey, good seeing you. There you are.
So we're going to give the horse water. We don't need to give it food, just because this horse maintains food for long enough that we can finish the game. We didn't actually make any quest mistakes, so that's pretty good. Which means that this run might be a decent pace. I don't think this is a new world record or anything, and obviously we don't know because the timer is messed up. But we'll see. Ah, see, that's what I'm talking about. The obstacles in the proper race are even harder than they were in the practice, so it can be pretty difficult not to get caught on them. But once this race is complete, oh no, Barbie? Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. Once this race is complete, we're going to talk to the lady who gave us the quest for this race again, and that'll be the end of the game. So we're coming up very, very soon on the end here. I appreciate you guys all staying around today. We've been live for coming up on 8 hours so far, so I'm a bit tired myself, but it's been very fun to be a part of this. And we've got a whole other, even longer day of fun stuff in store tomorrow, which will be super cool. Not that this is the last thing we're doing today, I should mention. We've got a very, very cool run coming up by Maury's Illusion, who's in the chat right now, so should be exciting. This game is really janky, yeah, it's quite broken. And it's not even broken in like a this game is broken for speedruns kind of way. It's just janky. There's nothing else to it. It's just got some weird stuff going on. But that's okay. Coming up on the last thing here, just like before, we're gonna jump through the checkpoint. That's technically when you get the ribbon, but the ribbon doesn't go into your menu until you talk to the woman here.
Hey, Barbie.
And oh, well, I pressed the timer button, but that's actually time. So you can see here, we've got all 5 ribbons, and that is the end of Barbie Horse Adventures Ride-It Camp. A very cool game that I get frustrated at a little too easily, given how actually fun this run can be. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, next run up is going to be Maury's Illusion, running Barbie Magic Genie Bottle CD-ROM, which is a very, very cool run that the two of us have worked on for a long time. And there'll be a special twist on it in the form of a hardware peripheral. So don't go anywhere. Shouldn't take too long to get that set up, and you will not want to miss it. After that, we will be closing out. It'll be me and my co-planner Zuko doing some fun little activities where you guys can take part as well. So stick around.